Since I was very young, I always had a dream to be successful, but a dream that I needed help to accomplish. You are one of those people who are helping make this dream possible.
I know it's hard, but I also know it's possible. With the help of this Valencia Foundation scholarship, I will be an engineer, and I promise I will serve my community.
My dream of going to college is now a reality, and this is something that I will never forget.
I feel so great every time I can say, I finally made it. That phrase is priceless for me, and it's all thanks to you.
I wouldn't be at Valencia right now if it wasn't for all your help, because my parents would have never had the money to pay for my classes. This means a lot for me.
You've changed my life forever, and for that I say thank you.
Why I chose being in a culinary field is you got to be crazy to be in the kitchen. I was born in California, Santa Ana, suburbs of LA. My mom, she's been cooking, since she was little, because my mom's Cuban, so I'm half Spanish, and most Spanish people are great cooks. So that kind of inspired me in my blood to go with the flow. Before I started school here almost a year ago, I looked around other schools and not deciding what I really wanted to do, but then when I found Valencia and they had the culinary program, I wanted to try it out, and I saw Chef Pierre, Chef Ken that day teaching the students the different techniques and the different things, how to get things done in the kitchen, and how they're patient and their passion towards the students to help them become culinarians in this field. Inspired me that I know this school was going to be a great foundation for my future in education and culinary. I learned so much, but there's like 10,000 more things out there that I don't know yet, and hopefully one day I'll have the privilege to learn, all the items and different techniques that are out there in the kitchen, because that's one thing that intrigued me going in the culinary field, because I don't go into a job and do the same thing Monday through Friday. Every day is a different day. There's something always happening in the kitchen. I'm appreciative of what I've gotten and received, and so far in the culinary program I learned a lot from my Chef Ken, Chef Pierre. I learned all their techniques and all their knowledge that they have learned in the past, and it's awesome to learn from the best.
When you're doing things like this, it's best to line it with saran wrap.
To have an education in the culinary field, back in the days, people didn't go to school for culinary. They just learned from mom and pop's bakery store or restaurant, and you learn from that, and that's all great. But to have a knowledge of understanding techniques and basics to further your education in this field, besides cooking, doing more management and more front of the house experience, that's where the school experience comes in. Culinary is awesome because you get a dish right at the end before it goes out to the customer. You try to make it the best that you can, make it by presentation, but most important thing, have the flavor and making sure the food does taste well.
My name is Kathy Ivy. I was actually born in El Paso, Texas, and my parents were from outside of Chicago, Illinois. They moved around quite a bit as growing up, and we settled in Florida when I started school. So I went to Maynard Adventist High School and graduated in 1969. I realized in the early 1990 that I probably should have gone to college, but I hadn't. I realized this when my older children were old enough to go to college, and I was explaining to them why they should go. I realized that, geez, maybe I should have gone too. It became a very big chore to make financial ends meet. And then my parents were both diagnosed terminal. And so we merged households, and I became a primary caregiver. Well, I was enrolled with 3 classes at Valencia, and it was patently obvious that I wasn't going to have the income to do it. And one of the staff members at VCC told me that there was a Hurricane Charlie grant that I might apply for. And so I did, and I was very fortunate. I was selected to receive it. Having the money made available to invest in me personally made such a transformation. What Valencia has done is it's allowed me to go in there and actually see the advantages of curriculum structure, the advantages of putting form and matter together towards actually making step-by-step decisions. It's shown me how to put more balance in my life. And because I've learned how to do that now, I'm able to teach that as well. So it's just tremendously expanded the possibilities of what I can do. It's really never too late. I mean, it's always a matter of, we only have the time we have. The key is to do something with it.
My name is Gilbert Banda. I was born in the Philippines. My country, the Philippines, is a struggle to live sometimes. My parents tried for 20 years to try and get us to America to make a better life here. One day, when I was 13 years old, they received the letters or the paperwork that says that we could come to America. And at the age of 13, I came to America. High school years was difficult for me. First of all, the language barrier, because at that time I didn't know how to speak English. It was hard for me to adjust to the way of living here in the U.S.
It's good.
Okay. In high school, I've always found science to be very interesting. Also, I have this compassionate nature in me. So I decided that I would like to pursue a profession that involves both, which is nursing, because I can learn about the science of the body, the anatomy, and at the same time providing care and compassion for my patients.
So what type of diuretic is a Lasix?
Lasix is a potassium wasting medication. During pre-conference, I find myself nervous when presenting my patient because the instructor expects you to know the patient.
Anything else that patient has? So you said they were on oxygen, right?
Right.
How many liters? How many liters? If you have COPD, how many liters should that patient be on?
3 liters. And there's a lot to know about the patient, from lab values to his psychological needs. And the instructor would expect you to know that when she asks you a question. And I usually know when I'm prepared, and I usually know when I'm not. When I go to a patient's room, I get that rush. It's like meeting a new person. Mrs. Hill? Hello. Good morning. I make sure that I know the person, what's going on in their mind, before I do anything else. Oh, good. How was your night last night? Compassion is one of the characteristics that a good nurse, an excellent nurse should have. Your tongue right on the side. Financially, I struggled throughout my years in attending Valencia. At one point, I had to work a full-time job and a part-time job, and at the same time going to school full-time. The scholarship certainly made my learning easier. I was retaining more information, and because the stress level is down, so I can learn more. And that's what this scholarship provided me. There you go. Healthcare is one of the most challenging but most exhilarating professions I could think of, and I would like to be part of that. I want to be a physician someday. I want to become a doctor and provide care for patients and make a difference in their lives and their family. When I'm with a patient, taking care of a patient, I feel that I'm rewarded. I feel that I'm doing something very important to this patient. And I would like to make a difference in this patient's life and the life of this patient's family. Whether at some point in my career, I indirectly or directly save someone's life, it would make me feel complete. It would make me feel that my purpose here in life has been achieved.
Going to school and by the donors donating money it's a blessing to me, and I know for others that have helped them out financially.
Without the scholarship, I wouldn't have been able to go to school. My grandmother has no way to pay for me to go to school.
What they've done is they plant the seeds that grow the academic potential for someone like me or someone who's just 18, just getting out of high school.
Thank you for all you've done and for what you've done for me.
What you've contributed to my education has really helped me along the way. And that's something I wish I could say more than thank you.
The Valencia Community College Scholarship Program, I would like to thank you for giving, for providing financial support to the students, because you are making a big difference in someone's life. Thank you.